You know when you think you can trust someone, and then out of nowhere they turn on you and do something unspeakably evil? Yeah, that's what happened to me yesterday. Sim Guru Frost, my first friend, my enemy. I'm sorry, that was Hamilton. Anyway, Sim Guru Frost, the CM, the community manager for The Sims 4, has yet again challenged me to a duel. As in, he came into my chat when I was minding my own business on stream yesterday. I was just building Jeffree Star's mansion, you know, as you do. Again, minding my own business, when he challenged me with something that might seem simple, but was actually one of the worst things I've ever had to do. That's a lie. It was one of the worst 50 minutes I've spent recently, though. Of course, there is a new tiny house pack coming out soon, and so in honor of that, Simguru Frost challenged me to build a tiny home. A 12,000 simoleon, 3 sim household, 2 parents and 1 child, no move objects, no debug, and I only had 32 tiles to work with. Do you have any idea how difficult this is? Because I was like, psh, yeah, psh, I got this. And then I went into game and found out how small a 32 tile enclosure is, and I was like, oh, I don't got this. So as you can see, this is the beginning of my attempt at building this house. So the rule state has to be a 32 tile enclosure. So you can only have 32 tiles that are like inside, but you can have patio space and stuff, obviously. And so I made this 32 tile enclosure, started with like an 8x4, and then I moved a little bit around so it wasn't just like a weird rectangle. But honestly, you guys, this is really small. And no, you can't have a second floor because that adds more than 32 tiles that are enclosed. It would like double it. And because there has to be 3 Sims living here, you want the poor kid to have a bedroom. So I was trying to fit in like space for these 3 Sims to sleep, a whole bathroom, a functional kitchen. I wanted to have like, you know, a computer or something so they can actually work. I wanted to have a TV. I mean, it's such a tiny space to try and fit all of that into. So I have dining space outside on the patio. I've got like a living space outside on the patio too. But like the actual layout of the house was the hardest part. You'll see me like messing around and doing it and deleting it and doing it over and over and over again because I was like, how am I gonna fit these bedrooms in here? And to make matters worse, I wasn't allowed to use the move objects cheat, which honestly was probably the hardest part of this because usually when I build a tiny house, you make use of move objects so much to fit things because you can kind of cheat the system and like move things slightly closer to walls and like build yourself some more extra space by using the move objects cheat, but like I couldn't even put the door on a diagonal in that room without move objects on, so it was really difficult to try and fit things without that cheat. I've really gotten accustomed to using it, and when I have a cheap house, I usually use debug landscaping these days to like actually have landscaping because it's free, which is really cheaty, but I mean, you know, it's fine, it's in the game, but when you're doing a challenge like this, you can't use debug, so that was rough. We end up having a tree and 1 thing of flowers. But at least we have a tree. As long as you have a tree, everything's fine. But trying to do the roof and like figuring out what the style of the house was gonna be was also very difficult, because I was like, I just have this tiny box. It's not interesting at all, by any means. Like, how am I gonna make it not look stupid? So that was rough, trying to like figure out the roof situation, but I think in the end, it came out sort of nicely. It's just like a little suburban house. Emphasis on the little part, because 32 tiles, it's so small. I'd love to see you guys try and do this, because, I mean, I don't know. Way harder than I thought it would be. And in the beginning, I was gonna just use the base game, and then I was like, I can't just use the base game. All like the small desks that I want to use and all of that, those things aren't in the base game. And so I ended up using other packs, with permission, of course, from Simguru Frost, because I would never cheat. But of course, I'll write out the rules for you guys in the description if you want to try it yourself, because it's a short challenge. It took me like an hour to do, which isn't that short, I guess, but it is a small house, so it isn't like super difficult. If I had used a toddler, it would have been easier. Although, I'd need a toddler potty, which isn't hard, but like, where are you gonna put that? Like on the patio? Like next to your what? Next to your fridge? I mean, come on. I wanted to try and do an outdoor kitchen, but I couldn't make it fit without move objects because the columns were blocking me placing the things down. So that was scrapped. But honestly, that idea of like this complete outdoor living space I thought was kind of interesting. It just didn't work without move objects on. And I'm used to making like these exceptionally tiny bathrooms because you can kind of like alt place things and shift them closer together and have them still function. And so I was used to trying to do that in my Sims houses, but I couldn't make it work in this one because I didn't have move objects. That is such an underrated cheat. I mean, it's not underrated, but it's so like underappreciated, I think, because I've been around since the days in The Sims 4, I think many of us have, when we didn't even have that cheat in the game. Like, the game didn't ship with the Move Objects cheat. That came in an update after the game's launch. So we used to have to play with all of our houses having no Move Objects. I mean, think about those days, okay? What a horrible, dark time. And trying to do a tiny house without Move Objects? It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm totally fine. It's fine. This whole thing became a lot easier once I had actually done the layout, but it was these little frustrating things, like I couldn't put a window where I wanted to because it wouldn't place properly, and I couldn't afford to put fencing around the whole patio, and it's all these like little things that were so bothersome. I was like, why is this doing this to me? Just work. And I must warn you all, there is a major fire hazard in this house. There's a fire pit on the covered patio, which is probably fine. But my chat was like, oh my god, and I was like, it's The Sims, you know? But there is a fire pit on the covered patio, because I figured, one, they could, like, cook around the fire pit and, like, roast some weenies, if they wish. But also there's, like, 2 couches, 2 benches there, so all the Sims could sit and hang out together, because, I mean, you can't really do that otherwise in this house. There's no space for sitting. But that entryway where the parents' bed is, the Sims can scoot across to sleep on the left side of it. And also, because the TV is there, I kind of figured maybe it could function as like a day bed. So your Sims can sit on it like a sofa when they have guests over. And then watch the TV from there. And their dresser's right there, there's a mirror. So you have all the things you need. You've got, like, tick the boxes: computer, bookshelf, dresser, TV, mirror, bathroom, functional kitchen, there's all the beds, there's even a teddy bear for the child. But, like, that's it. Everything in this house has a purpose. And I made this house, I kid you not, it costs exactly 12,000 simoleons. Exactly. You have 0 simoleons left. So I used my budget to the absolute max. Simgrew Frost challenged me to that. And then you just might have seen me replace the kitchen sink. I had the cheapest one, and it looks kind of like a bathroom sink. I replaced it with a rectangle sink, and I was like, psh, it's 5 simoleons more. We can afford that. And then at the very last second, I ended up changing it and replacing it with the cheaper sink, because I needed that extra 5 simoleons to buy plants for the outside. I just thought it was funny because in the stream I was like, yeah, psh, we can have a 5 more simoleon sink, and then come the end of the stream I was like, oh, never mind. I need to sell that and put it back so I can get these flowers. Because otherwise there wouldn't have been any landscaping, because I think there's a tree in the front and maybe 2 of those daisy things, and then a tree in the back and 1 of the daisy things. So there is like a decent amount of landscaping here. It's pretty small, but at least there's, you know, basic things like trees. And to be fair, considering how small and cheap this house is, I did use a lot of packs. I know for a fact I'm seeing Outdoor Retreat, I'm seeing Seasons, and the desk is from City Living. That might be it, actually. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. Who knows? I should have put space for a cat in here, too. Also, there isn't a trash can inside of the house, but there is one on the side of the house, outside, so you can at least put your Sims trash there. I couldn't get it to fit inside without Move Objects, because I usually, like, alt place and then Move Object on, place the trash can, like, right next to the fridge, but you can't place it like that without the cheat, and so I couldn't do it. It was so frustrating. You never know what you have until it's gone, let me tell you, because here I build these houses every day, and I'm like, I build houses every day, and I take my Move Objects cheat for granted. I also made Sims to live here. I forget their names. You might see them standing in the front yard there. There's 2 parents and a child, and they all have, like, Strangerville clothes on. It was completely randomized. I'm pretty sure the mom's a thief. Like, they're not the most, kind looking of Sims. I think the mom's kind of pretty. The dad's got, like, a weird suit coat on and white pants and white shoes, which I think is a really bold choice. Oh, there's some get-together columns. And I think I used a perfect patio stuff or maybe a backyard stuff candle. I forget which one I put down, but there's definitely a few packs. And those are some there's university flower boxes too. Yeah, I used a bunch of packs in this build. It's the cheapest objects, okay? I did what I had to do. I just wanted it to look nice. It's really tragic, honestly, just like my Sims. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think him wearing the white pants and the white shoes with that coat, it makes him look like a really mean guy. Like, I think he looks really obnoxious in that outfit. Even just, like, if he had black pants on, I'd be like, oh, what a classy man in his suit. But the second you've got white pants and white shoes, it's like, what is wrong with you, and why are you so mean to me? Like, why are you so angry looking all the time, sir? He just has this kind of snobbish look about him. But here he is in his tiny house. I mean, do you think people that live in tiny houses are snobs? No. I think they can be. If you've ever seen like Tiny House Nation and stuff on TV, I mean, those people, they're kind of like, we've given up everything, and they're kind of, they brag a bit about like it, but I don't think that it is by any means snobby to live in a tiny house. I think this would be very difficult to do. Like, how horrible. Not horrible, but I think it would be really, hard to live in a house this small, especially with a family of 3. Like, you have no space. The poor kid, I'm so glad she has a bedroom, because she deserves to have space of her own. Like, to not have a bedroom as a child, that's a nightmare. The kid needs a little bit of privacy. I'm gonna be honest though, you guys, I don't think I did that good of a job on this build. Like, I tried my best. I made the roof as good as I could, I made the inside as good as I could, but I think it could have been better. I think I might want to try again and do it somehow and like have way more outdoor space, like even try to have some sort of like outdoor bedroom spaces and like kind of close them off by using plants or things to like block it around. I think you could try and make a really interesting version of this build that isn't just like a tiny suburban house, because I built a tiny suburban house. So maybe you win this time, SimGuru Frost, but one day I will crush your challenge. This isn't the first time he's done this to me. I'll link the last time he challenged me to a dumb, tiny, evil, frustrating, stupid house in the description box. And I'll also link his Twitter. He is the CM for The Sims 4, so he's definitely worth the follow on Twitter. But like I said, I'm gonna go. So please make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those funny tube things. And in case you guys didn't know, I post new videos every single day, and so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. You know, I thought it was like a decent looking house when I built it yesterday, but looking back on it, I'm like mad at myself and I want to try and do it again, but better. This is so dumb. Why do I do these things to myself? I just keep doing it over and over and over again until I master it. I'm a freak, a Sims freak.